Welcome to day 3 of 21-day Spring Equinox Challenge. Today I will introduce you to the lower body cars, ankle, knee, and one more hip movements that is good to do in the morning, but even better to do it in the evening or during the day to mobilize your hips. So we will work an ankle first, and it's pretty simple. The ankle is a joint that allows us to go into a circular movement. So you're gonna come into comfortable position. You can also do it on the chair if you are uncomfortable to sit on the floor. And you just grab your thigh to basically lock lock the leg, lock the thigh, and lock the shin bone. So you bring the left hand on the shin and simply just flex your ankle to the maximum. And then the idea is the same that we tried for shoulders and hips. You're going to slowly explore the full range by going with the circular movement. And as you're going to finish your circle, you're going to just go to the opposite side. So you're trying to exercise the full range, maximum. So if you feel you restrictions that where you need to reach and go circle. So for the ankles, the same as for the shoulders and hips, you can go 2 times each direction, and then we'll change. So bring your right shin down. Again, you can do this on the chair. Grab your thigh, lock your shin bone, and flex your ankle to the maximum. So whatever maximum is for you, hold it here, and then very slowly start drawing. Just imagine that you draw the circle with your big toe, and as you finish the circle, you're gonna go opposite direction. Really feel that you exercise in the full range, the end of range for your ankle with the other bones locked by your hands. Okay, that was ankle. That's pretty simple. The next one is the knee, and I'm very often spending time in my classes explaining to students that knee is the hinge joint. What does it mean? The knee can only flex, right? And depend on the build of your knee, you can flex it a lot, like your heel goes closer to your thigh, or it's just something like a foot distance between your glute and your heel, and you never want to compress the knee too much. So just find the comfortable flexion on your knee. But in the cars, we want to exercise also the movement of the shin bone. There is a very subtle movement of the shin bone in the knee. So it is a pretty confusing car, but let us try to do that. So you again catching your thigh with your right hand, and this time you lock in your knee. So you're not holding the shin, you're just holding the knee, and you flex in the foot, so going into the maximum flexion, and then you get your foot inward. So you internally rotate your foot, and some of you might feel how the shin bone just slightly moving in the knee, and then you're going to extend the leg, whatever your hamstrings allows you, and in this extended position you turn in your foot out. So you externally rotate your foot, and then you bring it back. You might not feel much, but try to do that anyway, holding the knee and just paying attention what's happening in the knee when you, from the external rotation of the foot, bring it to internal rotation and bend. So you can go 2-3 times here. In my knee, I don't feel a lot, but yes, I observe students with quite mobile shin bone in the knee. And we'll do this on the other leg. So hug your thigh, secure your knee, flex your foot to the maximum, and then we will externally rotate, we'll open the knee, we'll internally rotate, we'll close the knee. We'll open the knee, we'll externally rotate, close the knee. And release. In my classes, I love to offer a little bit different exercise for the knees. So when we are just coming on the spine, I'm asking my student just to lift the legs and just drop the heel. So feel the flexion of the knee without any load. So just let your knee in the beginning of the practice to know we're going to be flexing you, right? So this is a great move. It's not a carb because it's not a rotation, but you might want to work with your knees this way, understanding how much mobility you can achieve with your knee. And here we're coming into the next movement, and this is 90-90 movement. So for the 90-90, let us start with the left leg in front, and you really create the 90-degree. Foot is flexed, your knee is 90-degree, and then thigh is 90-degree. And then you're trying to find the same position for the back leg. Your hip the back hip probably will be off the floor when you return forward, and that's okay. So you would like to rotate the torso toward the left knee. You keep your feet really actively flexed. And now from here, let us grab the back knee with the arm and open that, keeping the foot flexed so your back foot is on the knee. So here is your rotation. This is the true external rotation here. Your knee is on the floor. And then on some point, you can progress with the back knee without lifting the front knee off the floor. And you're coming into this position where your shins are parallel to each other, knees are externally rotated, and your feet are flexed. And then you're trying to keep the back knee behind as longer as you can, dropping the right knee. So your right knee comes to the floor, you keep the knee off the floor, and only then you just bring it back and you're trying to rotate toward the other knee. So continue with this movement. Open the knee to the maximum, keeping the feet flexed, finding what is the maximum distance between your knees, and then lifting the knee and sitting tall, right? So you want to maintain your lower back tall. And then going to the opposite, so going with a left knee down and holding this knee off, right? Using your inner thigh. When your knee reaches the floor, you can allow the back knee to come facing the front. And here you can go as long as you like, opening here, feeling your external rotation, and then coming all the way to the opposite side. So true rotation. What you need to maintain is the distance. So because you have a limitation in your internal rotation, your back knee will want to come to the heel, and you're ending up in this one. So this is an incorrect position. You get your thigh and shin parallel, and as you're going to be moving forward, you're going to be moving forward while you're doing that, because your hips have a different mobility. So to align your heels, you need probably to move one heel forward all the time. So this is a great exercise to do in the end of the day, especially if you sitting the whole day in front of TV, talking to your partners, talking to your kids. Involve your kids as well into this 90-90 rotation hips. And we're going to be continuing with 90-90 position, and we'll work a little bit on the strengthening of the muscles that hold our hip internal or external position. So we come into 90-90 position again. And let us lean slightly toward the front leg. You will need that. Some of you maybe need to bring the hand on the floor. And let us lift the back leg off the floor, maintaining like a shelf, your thigh and heel parallel to the floor. So you feel your inner thigh working, and drop it down. Try several times. It's extremely uncomfortable in your back hip in this internal rotation position. So just to let your hip to get used to that. You definitely, if you're not using the floor for support, you're working on the core here because you need to maintain yourself tall. And after 5-ish, let us rotate to the other side and set again 90-90, 90 in ankle, 90 in knee, 90 in hip. And yes, you can see that, and I know that my left hip is much tighter. So I'm starting usually with the hands on the floor and leaning to the side a little bit more than I do it on the right. I'm lifting, holding for like 1, 2, 3, drop down. Again, lift, hold, 1, 2, and you're keeping your feet flexed. You're engaging all the muscles of the legs, exactly as we're doing in cars. Hold, and you might feel a bit of a pinching in your hip. That's okay, you're gonna get used to that. Hold, and drop. You can keep your arms in front, so trying to maintain torso as tall as possible. Drop one more time. Let's lift and drop. Okay, let us rest a little bit, extend your legs, shake. Now we add even a little bit extra. So we're coming again to the 90-90 facing our front leg. This time we already know how to lift. And now think of shifting this leg to be parallel on the front, on the one that on the floor, heel above the heel, knee above the heel, and then shift it back, and then shift it in, and then shift it back. One more time, shift it in, and shift it back, hold, and drop. Okay, let us go to the other side, turning here, facing the front knee. Adjusting, make sure that your knee is not in front. And when you're ready, you will lift and then bring it parallel. So you're not opening the knee yet. It's like you're sitting on one hip only. And then move it back and drop. Lift, bring it in, bring it back, and drop. One more time like that. Lift, bring it in, shift it back, and drop. Again, in between, we're just coming to a comfortable position, shaking your legs, and we have one more movement to add to this 90-90 sequence. So as we lift the leg and bring it in, we now, keeping heel above the heel, will open and come into the almost Baddha Konasana position, right? Your a knee comes off the floor, so you're in external rotation. And now you're closing, holding the knee and heel above the front leg, moving back. You can drop the leg if you need, or move again. And open, sit tall, core strength. Coming back in, shifting back. Last time, you can have a break between. Bring the leg in, open, close, shift it back, and drop. Let us go to the other side, finding your 90-90 position, sitting tall, and we're going to lift the leg, bring it in, open, flex feet, feel your inner thighs working. Now close, move it back, move it in, open, close, move it back, move it in, open, close, move it back, and let's rest. So shake your legs here, and we'll now come almost to the same position that we practiced, but we have heels on the floor and we have the toes open. So that's the position where you support your knee. Remember, I told you that knee is a hinge. If you have your ankle in a relaxed position and you might accidentally press your knees too hard, you could injure your lateral ligaments. So flexing the feet, gonna lock your knee. We already practiced it here. We know how that feels. And this position is safe to get you into the fold forward. So hold your ankles, or you might hold your toes, open book, and then bend your elbows and start coming forward. And don't drop your nose down. Keep lengthening here forward. So you might use your ankles and press your elbows into the knees and feel like you're pulling chest forward. You want to come from the hip hinge forward with as straight a lower back as possible. Lengthening here. It feels like you're really stretching your thoracic spine. So this is the active fold forward with external rotation of the hips. And now you can bring the toes together. Now you can be more relaxed, but you're not pressing your knees. You're just bringing the arms relaxed in front of your toes, dropping the head and relaxing. So it feels pretty stretchy. It might be feeling really intense, but this is a passive stretch. If you have some flexibility in your spine, in your hips, you can hug your knees, but your elbows, your arms are really relaxed, and you can drop the head and add a bit of a stretch on the back of your neck. So taking it here. Exhale, feeling passive stretch on the inner thighs. Taking the breath, we'll come all the way up. We'll extend the left leg and bring the right foot maybe like palm distance from the thigh. Interlace the fingers and pull the right heel closer to the hip, pressing yourself forward. So trying to maintain straight spine. You don't want to twist with the rounded back. As much as possible, you need to lengthen. And then you're keeping the left foot flexed. You're just hugging, you're just giving direction with the left arm. Bring the right arm as a second spine behind. Close your eyes and start twisting. Shoulders above the hips. And you might close your eyes and think of relaxation rather than put effort to rotate. Notice how with a relaxing sensation, it feels much deeper. Focus on exhale when you twist. Unfold. Take a break on the center and then change. Extend your right leg, bend your left knee, interlace the hands. First, press the rib cage to the thigh. Try to maintain your straight spine. Keep the foot flexed. Your hips are locked here to face the front. Then just get the direction with the right arm. Bring the left arm behind and gently twist to the left. Keep your shoulders parallel to the floor. Twist happening in your mid back, not in your lower back. Your lower back should stay firm, straight. Exhale and relax. Unfold back to the center. Have a breath here. And then release both legs. Bring your arms on the sides. Try to feel those space that we created in the lower back. in the mid back. And that would be it for the day 3.